in 2010. They're no stranger to this tournament.
No, they've been around, right? And they're headed to their 5th trip to the Little League World Series. Slow start offensively in this regional, but 12 runs yesterday. Obviously, Vogel was the star, so they come into this one with a whole bunch of momentum. Should be a good one this afternoon.
I think so. A great night for baseball, too, in the Heartland. Let's get it going. We're going to meet the team from Ohio coming up next.
World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, and in part by Honda.
Hamilton Westside Little League has been one of the best Little Leagues in the Great Lakes region over the last 20 years or so. Located about 30 miles north of Cincinnati, the champs from that great state, they're back again. Let's meet them.
Hi, my name is Brady Bauman. I play for Team Ohio. My favorite baseball player is Javier Baez.
Hi, my name is Maddox Jones. I play for Team Ohio. My favorite baseball player is Joey Votto.
Hi, my name is Chase Smoke. I play for Team Ohio. My favorite baseball player is Luke Boyd.
Hi, my name is Levi Smith. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite player is Ronald Acuna Jr.
Hi, my name is Noah Davidson. I play for Team Ohio. My favorite player is Cody Bellinger.
Hi, my name is Caleb Pardon. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Cody Bellinger.
Hi, my name is Gavin Saylor. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite player is Nicholas Castellanos.
Hi, my name is Trevor Brown. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite player of all time is Joe Morgan.
Hi, my name is Chance Rutherford. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Cashman.
Hi, my name is Cooper Clay. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Hi, my name is JJ Vogel. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Jesse Winker.
Hi, my name is Cooper Oden. I play for Team Ohio. My favorite MLB player is Ken Griffey Jr.
Hi, my name is Gage Maggard. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Mike Trout.
Hi, my name is Tyler Donges. I play for Team Ohio, and my favorite baseball player is Jack Leiter.
All right, there's the guys from Team Ohio. They're going to be facing Ethan Van Bell, the ace of the Michigan staff, Chris Burke, and he is making, get this, his 4th start of the regional.
Yeah, well, the Michigan coaches made it very clear to us that they wanted to win the regional. They're not just looking for one of the 2 bids. They want to go in as the 1 seed, and so they're going to run their ace out there now for his 4th start here in Indianapolis.
And the first pitch is into Cooper Clay, and it misses up in the zone. 1 ball and no strikes to Cooper Clay. And now he wraps this one to short, and that's going to skip away off of Lucas Farner. So the leadoff man is on for Hamilton.
That ball smoked. You could tell Lucas Farner feeling it now. Looked like he caught him maybe right in the forearm. Cooper Clay barreled that ball up. And here comes the big fella up with a runner on, just the way Ohio wanted to draw it up.
It's going to be ruled an error as J.J. Vogel comes up for the first time, a 2-run homer, the second batter of the game yesterday, and threw that no-hitter. We'll see what kind of damage he can do this time with the bat.
Yeah, well, when you hit one about 600 feet to left center field, you're probably going to see some breaking balls the next day.
Van Bell gets ahead 1-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls.
Van Bell rocks, fires, and this one's fouled back. Vogel throws left, bats right. He's heading into the 7th grade. He's 5'8", 150 pounds, and 2 for 9 in the regional. This one is hit well to center. And it's going to get over the head of Farkas and all the way to the base of the wall. Cooper Clay is going to get into 3rd. It's a double for J.J. Vogel as Farkas, I think, misjudged that a bit.
Yes, this ball's hit hard, similar to the last one. This ball's hit hard, but definitely a play Farkas could make. A line drive to center field. Ferkus kind of breaks in and then tries to recover at the end. The ball gets over his head. Then there's a little confusion there. They're lucky Cooper Clay didn't score. What a start for Ohio.
Yeah, they're threatening right away here against the Michigan ace in the first inning. And now Chance Rutherford, the three-hole hitter, gets a chance here to drive in two with a base hit. Oh, that stayed just a little high. Rutherford 3 for 8 with a double and a run driven in so far in regional play. He's got the best average for Ohio. Now 1-2. 2-2.
Van Bell does a really nice job for a young pitcher of slowing the hitter down and then speeding him up. You can see right there, just tried to dot that fastball in the corner like that.
There. Wow. Pinpoint accuracy on the outside edge for called strike 3 in the first out.
Yeah, so slow him down with a breaking ball, get him thinking breaking ball, and then bam. I mean, that is a professional sequence right there by Ethan Van Bell.
So 1 out, 2 on for the Mad Dog. Maddox Jones, he goes to short. That's going to score a run. Here's a throw to third, not in time, as Bogle is in under the tag. So Maddox Jones with a productive out as Ohio goes in front here in the first inning, 1-0.
Yeah, and you like to see that. Go up there, move the baseball. First pitch curveball, he gets his swing off, uses the middle of the field. Michigan was conceding the run in the middle of the field, so ground ball to short. Both teams like the way that one turned out. Michigan was okay with giving up a run for an out here early in the ball game.
Van Bell catches the outside corner on pitch number 1 to Noah Davidson. Davidson is the starting pitcher in this ball game for Hamilton. So we're seeing him in just a bit on the mound. Davidson 0 for 5 in the regional so far, just turned 12. He has been really good behind the plate. And like I said, we'll see him here in a minute on the mound. He strikes out here. So Van Bell gets Michigan off the field, but Taylor's down a run after a half. We'll meet the kids from Michigan next. Taylor, Michigan is a suburb of Detroit. This is the first time a team from Taylor has won the Michigan State Championship since Taylor Northwest Little League in 2007. This is Taylor North Little League. Let's meet the Michigan State champs.
Hi, my name is Gavin Mullen. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Steve Avery.
Hi, my name is Ethan Van Bell. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite MLB player is Miguel Cabrera.
Hi, my name is Max LaForest. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Garrett Cole.
Hi, my name is Jackson Surma. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Miguel Cabrera.
My name is Lucas Farner. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite player is Ken Griffey Jr.
Hi, my name is Cameron Thorning. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper.
My name is Jackson. I play for Team Michigan. My favorite player is Chipper Jones.
Hi, my name is Kylie Harris. I play for Taylor, Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Shohei Ohtani.
Hi, my name is Noah Bourne. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite player is Ken Griffey Jr.
My name is Chauncey Atkins. I play for Team Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper.
Hello, my name is Jacob Ferkus. I play for Michigan, and my favorite baseball player is Ken Griffey Jr.
The Taylor offense has been very impressive, outscoring opponents 29-1 in their 3 wins, hitting .403, 31 hits in 3 games. Man, they've been fun to watch. Now we'll see if Noah Davidson can shut them down.
Yeah, they have been explosive, by far the most explosive offense that we have seen this week. Anytime you're hitting over 400 as a club, that's saying something. But Noah Davidson, one of the youngest players in this tournament, just turned 12. Caught last game. Favorite actor there, Tom Hanks. Hard to go wrong with Mr. Hanks, but a big kid that is physical, and he will get a big opportunity here against one of the best offenses he will have faced in his young career.
First man he will face is Lucas Farner. Another 12-year-old hitting a team best 778 this week. 7 for 9, a double, and 5 runs. He has ignited this offensive threat. And he puts this in play hard. On the backhand, Maggard will not have a play. Gage Maggard knocked it down, but that's all he could do. Farner is aboard to start the first.
And that's going to go as a hit, certainly a tough chance there for Maggard. And
number 3, second baseman, Gavin Hewlin.
The boys from Michigan get exactly what they needed, which was a leadoff runner here.
Man on for Gavin Hewlin. Oh, that hit him. So Hewlin is on. 2 on, nobody out, and the very dangerous hitter for Team Michigan, Cameron Thorning, due up next.
Yeah, not the way you draw it up. If you're Ken Coomer and the Ohio staff, you get a run in the top of the first, and then your young right-hander goes up there who has not pitched in this regional and allows the first 2 to reach, and now you got to deal with Mr. Thorning with 2 on and nobody out.
The top of this order has been devastating. Here's another guy. Big number, 6 for 9. Big cut. Going for the downs there. He's got a home run in this regional so far. 5'8", 141. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. The ball and a strike to Thorning. His dad, Rick, is down in the third base coach's box. The 1-1. Breaking ball inside, 2-1. There's Dad, 41-year-old corrections officer. He looks like a corrections officer, especially with those dark shades. Wouldn't mess with that guy.
Boy, you could tell, too, just getting a chance to talk to him. He loves his baseball, and he's got a lot to be proud of here with his young son.
Boy, that's wrapped past the glove of Bauman into left field. They're going to put the brakes on Farner at third, and now the bases are loaded and nobody out for the cleanup man for Michigan, Jackson Surma.
Well, it's not an accident that they've scored 29 runs in 3 games. It is a offense that can jump in a heartbeat, and now Jackson Surma, who comes in hitting a cool 600 with 6 ribbies in this regional.
Another big kid, 5'3", 130. He's swinging for the fences too, and on that breaking ball he comes up empty. The top 4 guys in this Taylor lineup coming into the game, 23 hits, 14 runs batted in. Chance to do some damage here. Nobody out. The 0-1. By the way, Thorning was credited with a hit. So a couple of hits here in the inning. The 0-2. Breaking ball knocked down nicely by Jones.
Boy, that's a big play too. Maddox Jones, not their everyday catcher. It's normally Noah Davidson's job, but doing a good job of keeping that breaking ball in front.
Got him on the breaking ball. First base is occupied, so that is the first out of the inning.
Boy, and it is a big one, Clay. And again, Maddox Jones doing a nice job of getting down. Watch him get into that baseball and keeps it in front so that the runner, Farner, can't advance. And Noah Davidson doing a really nice job of keeping his poise in a very difficult situation.
Now the big, tall, left-handed center fielder, Jacob Furcus. You can call him Jake or Furk Daddy. He'll answer to either. And he swings, hits it deep to left, and Rutherford can't make the catch. One runner's going to score. Everyone's going to be safe, and we are tied at 1.
Wow. Boy, it looks like you got an opportunity here to get some good fortune if you're Ohio. This is a rocket hit right at Rutherford and just kind of dies on him. And then even after he's not able to finish the catch, they probably still had the force out at third. Unable to get that one either. And that is a big break for Michigan.
Noah Boren misses on the breaking ball. This is Noah Boren, the left fielder for Taylor. 1 for 5 in the tournament. He walked it off on Thursday with that 2-run hit to 10-run Illinois. Ball. It seems like early on here, Chris, the breaking ball is what's working best for Noah Davidson. It's the fastball that Michigan's been able to turn on here.
Yeah, and I think that's why Davidson's out there, because of the ability to spin that breaking ball, right? Usually when you're up against the best offenses at this age.
Now there is a breaking ball, but it's hit pretty well. The shortstop, Clay, goes back to make the catch. Cooper Clay records the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Ethan Van Bell with 2 out. And the bases loaded.
Yeah, usually when you face the best offenses at this age, it's the guy who can decelerate the baseball that can give them the most trouble.
Ball! Pitcher versus pitcher here, Van Bell. No doubt the best hair on the team. He has been their best pitcher during this run. Pretty good with the bat, too. 2 for 6, couple of ribbies. Goes to the opposite field. Deep to right center. That's going to get down. Harden's going to get it back on in the infield as fast as he can. Play at second. And he's safe. 4-1 Michigan as Ethan Van Bell clears the bases with a 3-run double.
Wow, and that's how you help yourself right there. Just a bullet into right center field, gets a fastball up in the zone, and smokes it out there. And, of course, the athletic Ferk Daddy picking them up, putting them down, scoring all the way from first base, and Michigan is all jacked up.
Now on to third is Van Bell. Boy, this has changed quickly. Ohio with a 1-0 lead coming into the bottom of the first, but Michigan has sent 8 to the plate so far. Max LaForest, 1 for 8 in the tournament. And he sprays that one foul, a ball and a strike. LaForest, Berkey, was in a cast for several weeks back in the spring with a broken elbow, and they were able to get him back healthy just in time for postseason play.
Yeah, come back and a nice contributor for this club. Got a chance to extend this lead to 4 here. Big 2-out RBI situation.
Now 1 and 2.
But you can't help but think back to the top of the first, Clay, that the boys from Ohio had second and third, nobody out, and got just 1.
Yeah.
And they had a chance to get off the field here with a tie game, and a huge swing of the bat by Van Bell, and it's all busted loose.
Another thing for Michigan is they have made Noah Davidson work here in the first inning. Look at that pitch count. It's already up over 20 here in the first.
Yeah, and
maximum
not just 20,
is 85.
High stress pitches.
2-2. That's lifted foul. What an inning. The champs from Michigan, 10-0 over Wisconsin, 9-1 over Indiana, 10-0 over Illinois. They've already got 4 on the board here in the first against Ohio. LaForest at the plate. Again, the 2-2 from Davidson. Whoa. Full count. Little League World Series starts next Thursday. There's some confusion on the field.
We have seen that more this week than I could possibly remember. It's incredible, like hitters, if you're listening out there, nobody should know the count better than you. I bet you we've seen that a half a dozen times this week.
Yeah, Max wanted first base badly. We'll see if he gets it here. 7th pitch coming up of this at bat. He keeps running up Davidson's pitch count.
Please return that foul ball to the umpire area.
I got to give Davidson a lot of credit, man. He has not blinked. I have not seen him slump his shoulders or complain 1 second. He just keeps delivering strikes. Showing a lot of grit out there.
Fisted foul.
I mean, you think about it, Clay. The first play of the game was a backhand to second base. Then the ball Thorning hit that slid past the third baseman. Then the line drive that Furcus hit that tipped off the glove of Rutherford. I mean, Noah Davidson could easily be playing the what-if game right now, but he just keeps taking the ball and delivering strikes. Great example for young athletes out there.
And LaForest is able to work the walk. What an at-bat for Max LaForest in the 8-hole. A 26-pitch first inning, and Davidson still has an out to get, as Jackson Schufelt will hit here now. Jackson Schufelt 1 for 2 with a double in the tournament. He's only 11. He's not going to turn 12, Berkey, until late January. Got a high baseball IQ, though. He certainly deserves to be here.
Well, and you can tell that's a body that's going to continue to grow and fill out. And he'll probably be one of the top dudes next year at Taylor North. Thinking about the fact that he's starting on a team that's going to make their first appearance ever in the Little League World Series at an 11-year-old. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
One nice thing about the phasing out of the 13-year-old kids here a couple of years ago is you do see more 11-year-olds getting an opportunity to play on these all-star teams. Ninth hitter to come to the plate for Taylor, Michigan here in the first inning. And Schufelt spins it back out of play. 2-2. Wow, 30-pitch first inning for Davidson. And again, the maximum he can throw is 85 today. Runners at the corners, 2-2 count. 2 outs. And the pitch. Full count.
And it almost looks like he's more confident throwing the breaking ball for a strike than the fastball. I mean, he's got a good feel for both pitches. But the fastball seems to keep missing it to his glove side. See if he goes to the breaking ball here in a full count. Looks like that's what he's going to.
Comebacker. And Davidson will throw out Schufelt to finally get Hamilton off the field. But Taylor, Michigan, a big offensive inning. They score 4 times. Running the
to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Gage Maggard leading it off here in the second inning for Ohio. Maggard, Harden, and Bauman, 6, 7, and 8. Whoa. Gage Maggard hitless so far in the regional. His nickname is 12 Gage. 5'1", 105 pounds. During quarantine, he said he thought a lot about baseball. Hit off the tee a lot. That's an important thing. You know, working on the tee, just simple, something you can do by yourself, but it really helps with the hand-eye coordination.
No question, especially if you're working on something and aiming towards a target. Beautiful pitch there by Van Bell, but I tell kids all the time, the tee does not lie. The ball, there are no variables. The ball goes where your swing makes it. So if you're not impacting the ball properly, the tee will let you know, and there's nobody to blame but your swing at that point.
2-2. Struck him out. They're going to have to throw down to first. Thorning does just that. Maggard is retired, 1 down.
Boy, and that's a beautiful breaking ball, but even more impressive, we talked about Cam Thorning and his ability to swing the bat, but he makes blocking that breaking ball look like you would expect from a varsity high school catcher. Just get down there to your knees, keep that thing softly in front, make sure you finish off the play at first base.
Here's a guy who idolizes Well, we'll take a look at that replay
Yeah,
first.
take a look. So he's low to start, right? And then he gets around it and just softens that ball right in front of him, makes that thing look real easy. We've seen that ball go to the backstop a lot this week, right, Clay? And for Thorning, it looked like just a total routine block. And that's a kid you can tell has put a lot of time in developing his craft as a catcher.
Bounding ball to the second baseman, Hewlett. And there are 2 down. This is what you want to see from a pitcher after getting a lead last half inning. Go out there, work quickly and efficiently.
Well, and Van Bell has proven to us that he knows how to fill up the strike zone, right? In 7 1/3 innings coming in, just 1 walk. So a premium strike thrower who's obviously comfortable out there on this mound here, making his 4th start this week.
Now, he threw 40 pitches as you're looking at Brady Bauman at the plate here. 1 for 3 in the tournament. Van Bell threw 40 pitches against Illinois Thursday, so you're saying, wow, that's over the threshold. He was going to need more rest, but that actually goes retroactively to the start of the last hitter he faced, so he stayed under the 35 pitches where he would have needed more rest.
Well, and, you know, their formula is run Van Bell out there, and then think about it. In the first 3 innings, you're probably going to have to face the top of their lineup twice, right? So if he's efficient with his pitch count, there's no telling. They could already be up 6-7 runs, sometimes even more than that, after 3 innings, and they can get him out of there. It's a pretty interesting formula. They've stuck with it all week, and certainly the offense has made it pay off.
2-2 here to Bauman, who's in the 8-hole, and coaches say pound for pound he is the strongest player on the roster. 4'11", 91 pounds. Dad Bryce is a fireman. His mother Emily a nurse. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. A tighty 1-2-3 second for Ethan Van Bell.
Ethan Van Bell just dotting the edge right there. That inning's more like they're used to. 3 up, 3 down.
Chelsea Riggs with you in the studio. Little League Softball over on ESPN+. 2 games left. Texas, Virginia. Virginia undefeated so far in full play. Texas's Lexi Rosillo not intimidated. Solo shot makes it 1-0 Texas. Bottom of the 2nd over on ESPN+. Play.
Michigan coming back up for the 2nd time. They sent 9 to the plate in the 1st inning, Chris.
Yeah, I talked about that. Probably most games have to deal with the top of their order twice in the first 3 innings. How about twice in the first 2 innings? And they're right back where they started it off last inning with Farner up to bat and ahead in the count. And just a tall task here for Noah Davidson to try to post another 0 here against this very talented top of the order.
The 1-0 pitch. That's fouled back. Healthy cut by Farner, who has been the toughest out in the Great Lakes Regional. Maybe one of the toughest in the entire country. 8 for 10 this week now after the hit in the 1st inning.
Yeah, that'll work from your leadoff hitter.
Umpire area on the first base side.
1-2. Couldn't catch up to that one. Farner is
a healthy one, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. That's despite a bit of a finger injury. He's been dealing with a sore finger since the start of regional play. He hurt it game 1. You'd never know it by the way he's swinging it.
No, he's been locked in ever since he jammed it up. And, you know, if you're going to go 8 for your next 10, you might as well bang up a finger each tournament.
All right, let's not get carried away.
Ball players are superstitious now.
Yes, they are. 2-2, and that's going to be an extra base hit. Farner does it again. He'll glide into second base with no sweat. 9 for 11.
Man, that was just pretty. Looking like a young Trey Turner. How about covering the outside corner and controlling the angle of the barrel to hit a rocket? Watch him go out and get this ball. Boom. Most people foul that pitch off down the right field line over the first base dugout. Watch him keep his nose down. Stay down there, stay in those knees, control the barrel. That was beautiful.
Gavin Hewlin was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. His dad is Guido, an assistant coach. Guido is also the director of Parks and Recreation in Taylor. So he knows a lot about the ballparks and, of course, the Junior League World Series that's held there in Taylor every year. Not this year because of COVID, but Guido's a big part of putting that on.
Yep. That community certainly misses that event. They're such a faithful partner of the Little League organization putting on that Junior World Series. Of course, you and I have worked that together. I've been fortunate to work that quite a few times. Those people really opened their arms up that week to the world.
Yeah. He's got the camera out.
Serious
They
camera
call
right
Gavin.
there.
That's got a big lens. That's got a big lens. You know, with the phones now, you don't see those really good cameras much anymore. So when you do see one, you know that they're serious.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's not your hobby photo taker. That's somebody who is dialed in.
2-2 to Hewlin. Man on second. And that's going to get to the backstop. Farner goes to third.
And, you know, I talked about it last inning, Clay. Davidson has done a really good job of just fighting through it and doing everything that you would ask for him to do from a competitive standpoint. You see him gathering himself there a little bit, but at some point you got to wonder if Ken Coomer's thinking about making a move. This is a high volume of pitches in a short period of time.
Payoff pitch, missed badly, but chasing it is Hewlin. Went after it way out of the zone. That was going to be ball 4. So Davidson gets a much-needed out, his second strikeout.
Well, and Gavin Hewlin's the kind of kid that wants to make it happen. And sometimes when you're that kid, you want so desperately to get the big hit that you'll end up leaving the zone. And that's part of growing up as a hitter, is just sometimes you got to take your walk.
Michael Conforto will play in that game. Also a Little League star once upon a time. ESPN coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown.
Well, welcome to the game, Mr. Rutherford. You get to face Cam Thorning, and you heard Ken Coomer reference him as a big boy, and yes, he is. He fills up that batter's box. See Coomer getting dialed in on all the positional changes here as he's gone to the bullpen. Noah Davidson gave him a gutty effort, just didn't quite have the command that he would need to get through this talented offense. And now Rutherford, 5'9", 140 pounds. Anthony Rizzo is his guy, and he's facing a lefty that kind of is a Little League version of Anthony Rizzo here in Cam Thorning.
All right, so here's Rutherford now. Gavin Saylor is the new left fielder. And Davidson goes from the mound to behind home plate. Big cut from Thorning, who singled in the first inning and scored. Thorning, I guess you would call him a 5-tool guy. He can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He has looked fantastic behind the plate. Of course, the fact he hits left-handed and catches makes him even that much more unique. But we've seen him run around the bases with ease. Of course, the power is evident. And he can really control that barrel, knows the strike zone. There's really not much he can't do. We haven't seen him show off the arm because, of course, there's no leadoffs here in Little League. But something tells me he can do that too.
Man, he looks comfortable in the box. His brother Andrew played in that 2019 Junior League World Series in Taylor, 4-team Michigan that you and I covered. So it's a great baseball family. The set and the 1-2 pitch. This is stroked over the glove of Maggard at second, into right field, another base hit, and another run for Taylor, Michigan. It's 5-1 in this championship game.
And that ball just kind of muscled right there showing you the strength of the young Thorning. A fastball a little bit up and in, and he does a really good job of pulling the hands in, keeping that barrel square, and punching it into right field as Michigan tacks on another one.
And now Surma bounds one outside of first. Jackson Surma, a strikeout victim, swinging in his only plate appearance in this game. But again, the production from these top 4 hitters, especially for Taylor, the last week has been impressive. "15 runs driven in now from the top 4 spots in the Taylor order."
I mean, it's something every team's going to have to be ready for, right? I mean, you just get bombarded with talented hitter after talented hitter, really all the way through the order, but definitely those first 5 will make you nervous.
The 1-1 caught the edge, 1-2. Jackson Surma at the plate now, as you see Thorning at second base, uncontested.
Well, we talked about being a 5-tool player. There he goes, showing off his speed. Kid that size can eat up 60 feet in a heartbeat, especially when you're that athletic.
Thorning at second, the 1-2. That's high. So Chance Rutherford on the mound now. Noah Davidson started, and he's behind home plate. Full count. Boy, they're making Rutherford throw a lot of pitches here right out of the gate, too.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just a lineup that understands the strike zone. We saw Hewlin chase. Other than that, there wouldn't be an out recorded in this inning.
Look out. Rutherford felt that as it whizzes by. The throw to the plate, not in time. Going to second is Surma. As he delivers, it's 6-1 Michigan.
I mean, they take the pitches just off the edge, and then look at this. Go down and get a breaking ball. Watch him get that chest out over the plate and cover the outside corner on a breaking ball out over the plate. That was a rocket back up the middle.
Coming in hot. Now Jacob Furcus hit a ball hard to left field. Ruled an error. He came around to score that 4-run first. Hit outside of third, so it's a ball and a strike to Furcus. This is the first time, Chris, a team from Taylor is going to Williamsport, but a team from Michigan has been in Williamsport 3 of the last 4 years. Most recently, Grosse Pointe Woods Shores in 2018. They've got great baseball in that state.
Yeah, I mean, they've really positioned themselves as the favorite, it seems like, here over the last 5 years. And in Indianapolis with this Great Lakes Regional, there was a period of time where Indiana kind of felt like they had a stronghold. Of course, Ohio has been fantastic here over the last 20 years or so, but man, Michigan here lately has really dominated this event.
Kentucky's had some pretty good teams too in recent years. Team from Bowling Green is the defending champ, having won in 19. Unfortunately, Warren County south of Bowling Green couldn't keep that going for Kentucky this year. They were sent home with COVID. Bounding ball deep short. Cooper Clay, the throw. And now another play at third. Not going to get the runner, so everybody's safe. Runners at the corners. Or did they call him out at first?
Yeah, they called him out at first, and I'm actually really impressed
okay.
that Cooper Clay was able to make this play. He looks the runner back and then gets it all the way across. Did he get Burke Daddy?
Boy, no.
I don't know, Clay.
I think he's
Furcus
safe.
Can really run down the line. And that one looked like he got his foot in there just in time.
Furcus went right to the bag like he knows he's safe. call was out at first. Kyle Watson, the first base umpire. David Snyder's behind home plate. He's got the headset on as they're going to the video replay. I think this is going to be an infield single.
Let's see right here, Clay. That ball has a little bit of airtime. Vogel, hard to stretch when the ball is that high, and yeah, it looks like the foot definitely beats the throw. I was worried as soon as Clay took the time to look at the runner that he wouldn't be able to throw Firkus out, and that's exactly what happened. As you see, Firkus just kind of quick steps it here to the front of the base, just like you teach a young hitter. Get to the front of the base, you see the ball not in the glove yet, and that one should be overturned.
Here comes David with the call. Safe, as we suspected. So Michigan keeps it going here. 2 on at the corners, 1 out. And Noah Boren is due up next. We'll see if we get a pinch hitter here. We will. It's going to be Adkins getting his first chance to hit here in this championship game. Chauncey, 1 for 5 with a double. 4'9", 92-pound, 12-year-old. Flashes button, takes a strike. Now that throw gets away as the runner goes, and now Firkus is in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's just one of those plays there where, as a defense, if you try to throw him out, you feel like the runner's going to score. So it looked like they had a play call on there, but the pitcher Rutherford ducked out of the way. Looked like Davidson was maybe trying to quick throw right back to him. Either way, Firkus gets a free 60 feet.
Adkins kind of pushing at that one, so now it's strike 2. We'll see if he continues to try to bunt. That's been his best weapon. He's the best bunter on the team. Strikes out. 2 down.
Number 5, the pitcher, Ethan Van Bell.
So Van Bell will come up and try to get these runners in. Still on the mound for Taylor, Ethan Van Bell.
Well,
making
what an
his
opportunity
4th start.
here. 2-run double, his first at bat. Now has a chance with 2 more on here to drive in 4 on the day with 1 more swing of the bat.
Rutherford comes set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Now 3-0 off the glove of Davidson. Surma's not going to try to score. Well, Forrest is scheduled to hit next. The 3-0 on the outside corner.
And here you go. If you're Ethan Van Bell, you want to hit right here, right? You already hit a 2-out, 2 RBI double. You're ahead in the count. You got a chance to really put this one out of reach with 1 big swing of the bat.
Strike 2. That would have been tough to hit.
Yeah, but he just didn't look like he was actually revved up to swing it. That's one of those, if you're sitting dead red, you might hook down the left field line. We saw this from him yesterday or 2 days ago a little bit where, you know, he just every once in a while didn't look all that comfortable.
And he draws a walk here to load the bases again.
Number 12, first baseman, Max LaForest.
Now, Taylor doesn't have a lot of subs to get in. They've already got Chauncey Adkins and at bat. Collie Harris will still have to get an at bat at some point in this game. So Max LaForest hitting for himself here in the 2nd inning. He swings at A pitch up and out of the zone, strike one. He walked his first time up. Breaking ball, strike two. Now Rutherford, one pitch away from getting out of this mess. Line drive and stopped by Maggard. Throw dug out at first by J.J. Vogel. What a play by Maggard to get Hamilton off the field.
Well, that one looked like it had a run or two written all over it. Credit Gage Maggard for laying out, picking it as he dives, and then the throw from his backside to get the boys from Hamilton West off the field. Heck of a play, kid.
What a summer, what a season.
No regrets. Swing it, baby, swing it.
It is dropping, the dive, and the catch is made.
Whatever happens, guys, again, it's going to be a great day. Very proud of you guys. Let's have some great fun today, huh?
There are going to be 30 total games in Williamsport. And it starts on Thursday. Now, the winner of this one will play Florida on Friday. The loser will play the Little Leaguers from Tennessee on the 19th. Unfortunately, there won't be fans invited to Williamsport this year. They're going to allow friends and family, but 250 passes are going to be given out to friends and family for each team. So the stadiums won't be empty, but it's certainly not going to have the feel, Chris Burke, that we've had in Williamsport in past years.
No, definitely not. And you know, look, that's just where we're at as a country right now. This deal just won't go away, but glad that we have a tournament. Certainly excited for the kids and the extra communities. 8 more Little Leagues will be represented in Williamsport from the United States than we're used to seeing, so that'll be cool. I think it really will help grow the game across the country with so many more communities getting a chance to be a part of it. And I tell you what, whoever loses this game and has to play that Tennessee team, if you haven't gotten a look at them, that will be a team to watch for in Williamsport, because Nolan Brown, the son of Scott Brown, Vanderbilt's pitching coach, hit 5 home runs in the Southeast Regional.
Wow.
And he's a left-handed pitcher as well.
Comebacker Ethan Bell over to first, and Crew Brown is quickly retired as Ethan Van Bell has started to get on a nice little roll after giving up a run in the first inning. He has retired 7 straight. Now back to the top of the order, and Hamilton's Cooper Clay. Slider, strike 2. Cooper Clay, the shortstop for Hamilton. He has been playing short since Levi Smith got hurt. Smith is healthy now, but only able to hit. He's not comfortable enough yet in the field, so it's been Cooper Clay's job. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and we'll see Levi Smith here probably in either Noah Davidson or Gage Maggard's spot here next time up.
Swung on and missed, and throw a little bit off, but nice job by LaForest. Keep his foot on the bag and get out number 2.
Yeah, there's that big breaking ball again by Van Bell. And look, Cam Thorning just makes that look like a pro. Pulls the throw a little bit. Nice job there by LaForest to hang in there. But these two, Van Bell and Thorning, are very, very advanced for 12-year-olds. And, you know, as much as you like Michigan's chances, and boy, we certainly like their team, the one thing we haven't seen a ton from them is just how deep their pitching staff is, right? Because Van Bell has carried such a load. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how they manage it in Williamsport. But, boy, from 1 through 9 in their lineup, they got to be as talented as anybody.
And on 3 pitches, Vogel goes down. Wow. Ethan Van Bell with a 1-2-3 third. Michigan in charge, 6-1 in Whitestown. Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by. Congratulations to Hastings, Nebraska. They won the Midwest earlier this morning here in Whitestown. Going to the Little League World Series for the first time.
Yeah, that was a bit of an upset. The Nebraska team came out there and just kind of stunned the boys from South Dakota. Cohen Rader was fantastic, and Nebraska played just top-shelf defense as they've done all week long. But, you know, again, don't be surprised if South Dakota doesn't win a game or two in Williamsport. They've got arguably the best pitcher that will be there next week.
Just Collie Harris's family, they're enjoying this as Collie looks at strike 3 on the outside corner. Harris just turned 12 on Monday and celebrating his birthday here in the regional. You can see the teams who have qualified for Williamsport. We talked about the Midwest, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Hastings, Nebraska representing the Midwest out of Whitestown here. Taylor, Michigan, Hamilton, Ohio, both going. Toms River, New Jersey. Remember back in 1998 when Todd Frazier led Toms River, New Jersey to a championship in Williamsport? Well, his nephew is playing on this year's Toms River team as they go back to Williamsport.
Well, that'll be pretty special. Toms River, of course, the World Series champs when the great Todd Frazier was playing for him. That's such a neat clip there with Brent Musburger calling that home run. And Todd Frazier, what a career, right? Little League World Series champ, home run derby champ, longtime major leaguer and all-star, just capped off his career with an appearance in the Olympics and part of that silver medal team from USA. And one of the neat guys, one of the big personalities of his day. Todd Frazier's had one heck of a career.
2-1 to Farner. Now 3-1. We're going to have 30 total games in Williamsport. Of course, we'll have wall-to-wall coverage on the ESPN networks. It's a beautiful banner there.
Yeah, it's professional.
Ground ball. Another nice play by the second baseman, Maggard. Boy, he's done a nice job there fielding his position. Nice play last inning, another one here, 2 down.
Yeah, and that one holds even more weight. Obviously, the last one kept the run off the board, but this one, you get the second out with this 2, 3, and 4 combo coming up. That ball looked like it was destined for center field, but Maggard gloves it, gets to his feet, and enough arm to get the speedy Farner.
Comebacker, Rutherford gobbles it up over to first, and the side is out. Rutherford and Hamilton needed that. They get off the field for the first time today unscathed. We have played 3. Michigan 6, Ohio 1 in the Great Lakes. Ethan Van Bell on the mound has retired the last 9 Hamilton hitters. 6 via the strikeout. He's sitting at 43 pitches with an 85 max. So he's got a lot to work with here as he begins work in the top of the 4th, Chris.
Yeah, a little shaky early on, but boy, once he's settled in, he has been dominant, and you just love the way this kid works. He pitches with great tempo, fills the zone up with 2 quality pitches, and just has a great feel for throwing that fastball away to right-handed hitters, which is just such a tough pitch for righties.
Inside corner to Chance Rutherford, who leads it off for Hamilton. He struck out looking his first time up. Now Rutherford jokes with his mom, Leanne, that she's bad luck because some of the games that he's had big moments in, she couldn't be there. Now, truth be told, he's had big games when she's at the ballpark too. So he has a little fun with Leanne. It's kind of become a thing. And, you know, I love seeing that. Great relationship with his mom.
Oh, no doubt. And, you know, look, the relationships formed through the years of competitive sports, right? All the games and the travel to practice and the car rides, man, that's part of the climb, part of the fun, part of the journey.
Yeah, parents are volunteers too.
No doubt.
There's Leanne. She's good luck. Come on, who are we kidding? Now, as I say that, Hope I didn't jinx it. Chance Rutherford goes down for the second time. One out.
Well, he has just settled in now. You can see that finger just freezes Rutherford. And Van Bell in some sort of groove right now.
Ten in a row set down by Ethan Van Bell. As he starts Maddox Jones with a strike. He has driven in the only run so far for Team Ohio today. That was an RBI groundout in the first inning. Jones loves Joey Votto, as a lot of the kids in Ohio do. Those Reds in the wild card hunt in the National League. Another strike on the breaking ball, 2-2.
Yeah, I took the crew up to watch the Reds last week, I think it was.
Did you?
They got a fun bunch to watch. Jonathan India, of course, the former SEC Player of the Year, having a great rookie season, was the Rookie of the Month recently.
Under the glove of a charging Surma, throw is high. Well, find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the official handles at Little League. Follow the action and join the conversation with hashtag LLWS. That's a great ballpark, too, in Cincinnati. One of the best in the National League.
Yeah, it's just a very good place to watch a ball game. Close to the field, you know, there's certainly a good vibe just kind of throughout the entire ballpark. Really not a bad seat in the house, and that team gives you a lot to cheer about.
Number 1, Brady Bauman. And pinch hitting for
A special
Ohio,
pinch runner.
Number 4, Levi Smith.
And Levi Smith is going to pinch hit. He got hit. Levi Smith is going to trot down to first. Bauman, who came in as the special pinch runner, goes to second.
Boy, and just when it looked like Ethan Van Bell was going to put it on cruise control, you get the defense not being able to make a play, and then, man, Levi Smith throws one right off the forearm.
Now Chase Moak is going to pinch hit as Ohio starts working their 5 substitutes into the game. Now we get time called as Levi Smith adjusts his shoe. Again, remember Levi Smith is coming back from injury. He just wore one. Looks like he's going to be all right. Swinging at the first pitch is Moak. This is going to be a tough play. Oh, my goodness. Lucas Farner has the double play, and Michigan gets off the field. That is one of the prettier plays you're going to. Exciting finish to the end of the last half inning. That great catch at short from Farner. And Michigan keeps it a 5-run lead.
You know, Clay, I'm fortunate. I got a son that's 11, so I'm pretty familiar with this age group of baseball. See a lot of kids play a lot of games. And usually when you see a young man's back, that ball falls. Right? Like when they start running over the shoulder and they've got their back to the infield, or if it's an outfielder running full throttle towards the fence, rarely does a kid finish that play off with a basket catch. That was really special there by Lucas Farner. And then, of course, the presence of mind to turn around and finish off the double play. He'll be watching that clip for a while.
2-2 to Cameron Thorning. Couple of hits, run batted in, couple of runs scored for Thorning. We've seen a lot of Sports Center type plays in this tournament this week. Might be another one for Farner. And Thorning draws a walk to start the bottom of the 4th. Let's go back to that catch. Got to see it again.
Yeah, let's watch this one more time. Moak hits this ball. Looks like it is destined for some green grass out, and he just immediately turns his back with no problem, tracks that baseball over the shoulder, puts his foot in the ground, turns around and gets him off the field, and just kind of trots off like it's no big deal.
And that protects the no-hitter that Ethan Van Bell has going, now through 4 innings. Six to 1 Michigan in this championship game of the Great Lakes. Now both of these teams are going to Williamsport. Because of COVID, it's an all-American field in Williamsport this year, and the champion and the runner-up from each region go to Williamsport. But when we talked to the kids from Taylor, when we talked to the coaching staff, they said just getting there is not enough. We know that a second-place finish in Whitestown would get us to Williamsport, but they want to win it all. The 1-2, 2-2.
Well, like we talked about, number one, they want to win it all just for the pride of saying they were the regional champs, and I'm sure they want to win every game and every tournament they enter, but it means even a little more when you know the loser of this game plays that talented Tennessee team. That is not somebody we want to start off bracket play against in Williamsport. So, you know, not just playing for a regional championship, but obviously if your sights are set on the big prize, you certainly would rather be a 1 than a 2.
And the loser has to play a day earlier on Thursday against Tennessee. Now full count again. Rutherford's had to throw a lot of pitches since coming on with 1 out in the second inning. This will be his 50th pitch.
Well, there's just, these kids make you work, don't they? They know the strike zone. They got the ability to put the bat on a lot of difficult pitches. And they're talented too, right? It's not just that they're scrappy and have a discerning eye, but they also can make you pay if you miss too much of the plate.
Diving in center, Brown, no, that's going to be a hit. And Thorning's going to be able to get to second ahead of the throw. So 2 on, nobody out for Michigan as they've got it going again here in the 4th.
And Crew Brown's disappointed, but he did about all he could do on this one. Sermon with a bullet up the middle, and Brown lays out, and the ball just bounces right in front of his glove. Heck of a try.
Crew Brown out in center with those sunglasses on, shading the sun on this beautiful afternoon here in Whitestown, and we're going to get a trip to the mound for Ken Coomer.
Slow, short hit, short. Wind's blowing in. So wind's blowing in. All right, go to right field. Come on. Listen, just got to hit spots, all right? Feeling all right? All right, come on, let's go.
So we're going to have a pitching change as the longtime coach Ken Coomer makes the move here in the 4th.
With you in the studio, Little League Softball World Series going on ESPN+. Texas, Virginia, game tied, but not for long. Peyton Richards brings home Addison Young from 3rd. Texas back on top 4-2 in the top of the 4th. Play.
All right, Kelsey, thank you. Here's Caleb Harden, the 3rd pitcher for Hamilton, Ohio. And he replaces Rutherford, who goes out to right field. That's where Harden was. And a special pinch runner has moved to first base for Team Michigan. Jackson Surma and a base hit. Schufelt will run for him now. So 2 on, nobody out for Michigan. Already leading by 5, 6-1. And this is Jacob Furcus. Has been on twice, once with an error and once with an infield single. Also scored a run.
Yeah, this kid is an interesting athlete. I mean, you watch this kid run and move, and of course there's that play in center field earlier this game where he didn't quite finish it off, but you saw the range and the athleticism.
Oh my.
And you see him turn one around like that, just a bullet off the 225 side. And you think about it, this kid is hitting 5th, right? So you got to deal with him after Thorning and Surma. And, you know, to have a real center fielder that can cover that kind of ground, and he's a talented and dangerous left-handed hitter, easy to forget about him in this talented lineup, but, man, is he a good-looking athlete and prospect.
Swung on and missed. 1-2. Yeah, he's just shy of 6 feet tall. Lanky 145. Good in center field. They also bring him to the mound on occasion. And he's a multi-sport athlete, which I know you appreciate, Chris. He plays hoops, plays football, runs some cross country.
Yeah, I'd like to see him running out on a go route. That's a 6 foot, 7th grader to be. That's a nice weapon to have.
Here's his fan club. Two and two to Furcus. Nobody out, 2 on. Michigan trying to swell the lead. Popped up. Left side. This is going to be a tough play. The shortstop, Cooper Clay. Making a great catch in his own right. I'll tell you what, the shortstops in this game have been dynamite.
They really have. And again, it's another ball kind of awkward in no man's land. And Cooper Clay got the sunglasses on so he can deal with the elements. And then nice job of finishing that ball off as it was tailing away from him. Big first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Chauncey Atkins to hit. Atkins, high and deep to left. And that's going to land. Coming around trying to score is Thorning, and he does. Boy, that went a long way for little Chauncey Atkins. His 2nd hit of the tournament.
Yeah, we'll write single down in the scorebook, but that doesn't do it justice. That was a bomb, and we've seen the ball's not carrying real well because the wind seems to be blowing in, but how about the little guy letting it rip? You could see they were playing him in. Gavin Saylor shaded in kind of close to the shortstop, and Chauncey Atkins makes him pay.
And he makes it 7-1 Michigan. Atkins, I think we talked about this yesterday or 2 days ago as it were, Berkey. He loves watching Bryce Harper. Emulates his swing, thinks a lot of his game. That's a good guy to watch. And he looked like Bryce Harper on that cut. Van Bell on the infield. He is going to be the 2nd out. So 2 away. Now Harden just trying to get out of this jam without any more damage being done. LaForest at the plate.
Yeah, you're at one of those points in the game where, you know, a couple big swings in the bat, and Michigan has a chance to run roll this game. But if you're Harden and you can get off the field without any more damage, who knows? Maybe you can make a run.
Oh, this is another deep ball. It's going to roll to the warning track into the fence. Max LaForest trying to clear the bases, and does. That is a 2-run double for Max LaForest, and it's 9-1.
And that's your 8-hole hitter. That ball 215 feet straight away left field, and just smokes this ball all the way to the wall. 2-run score easily.
Now Cauley Harris swinging for the downs. Harris, a strikeout victim, his last time up. Harris has a busy household. He's got 5 siblings. They can play him about anywhere on the field. You see his folks. Now, that's the way you watch a game, with a little fan right there, blowing cool air on you.
Yeah, now
he's got the right idea. Gotta love that. 0-2.
Breaking down the swing. I mean, he is doing it right.
Chopper left side. This could be a tough play. Making it look easy, though, is Jones, Maddox Jones. And Michigan is done in the fourth, but they tack on 3 more. Another crooked number for the state chance for Michigan. Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN.
The no-hitter is intact. Was intact.
Oh, my. It was intact. That was scorched by Donges. The pinch hitter comes up and gets the first hit for Hamilton. Tyler Donges. In fact, that's his first hit of the regional.
Well, good for him. That was a bullet. Fastball up and away, and he just does a nice job of controlling the barrel. That's the ball that so many kids swing underneath, but Don just gets right to the middle of that baseball.
Gavin Saylor. Takes a strike, 1-1. This is the first plate appearance for Gavin Saylor. Hamilton still has to get Cooper Oden an at-bat. It's likely to come this inning. Gav was a big contributor during the state tournament championship run for Westside Little League of Hamilton. Played him in left, third base. He's been on the mound. Loves the Reds and Kentucky basketball, and he loves to get on base. And now Hamilton's got something going here. 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, just a little spot of trouble here. That's now 2 innings in a row that Van Bell has dealt with a couple runners on.
Cooper Oden is going to be the last sub to come in for Hamilton. 2 for 4 in the tournament. He's been good off the bench, Chris. A couple of runs batted in, too.
Yeah, no, this is a presence in the batter's box here. This is a big old boy now, 5'7", 140.
Another big-time Reds fan, but he loves Mike Trout as a player. He lists him as his favorite. Here's his rooting section. Mom, Tricia, Dad, Mike. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, 1-2.
And that's the one that is just so tough for kids this age to handle. I mean, that breaking ball by Van Bell, it's late, too. It comes up out of his hand, almost looking like an elevated fastball, and it just takes a nosedive right as it gets to home plate. It's not easy to get that much depth on a breaking ball from 46 feet, but, man, he can really bend the baseball.
Struck him out. And with first base occupied, Thorning doesn't have to throw. 8th strikeout for Van Bell, 1 away.
Here's another one of these breaking balls. And you know, it's one thing to throw a breaking ball for a strike, but when you start talking about a kid who is advanced as Van Bell, he can bounce it when he wants to, too. So that's, you know, it's you know, kind of the first step. Can you throw a breaking ball for a strike? But then can you get that one to look good and then fall out of the zone late when you're looking for a swing and a miss? He can do both.
He's got enough pitches to work with here, too. If he can get a couple quick outs, he should be able to come back out for the 6th inning. On the outside corner to Clay. Cooper Clay eats a lot of steak, watches a lot of YouTube. His favorite player, Fernando Tatis Jr. Another strike on the outside corner. Van Bell has liked that pitch. He's been trying to live there.
Yeah, no, that's what he wants to throw to these right-handed hitters besides the breaking ball.
Comebacker. They're going to go to second for 1. To first. Not in time. They're going to have to settle for 1. They get the force at second. 2 down.
Smooth play there by Van Bell. Keep one of the runners out of scoring position. Could have taken the easy one at first, especially up 8, but boy, he flipped his hips and threw a strike to Lucas Farner.
Here's J.J. Vogel with runners at the corners and 2 down. Kind of quiet game by his standards after what we saw from him yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday he was the toast of the town. Today has not really factored into the ball game, but man, one big swing of the bat right here, that scoreboard look a little different.
2-0 pitch. Just a little upstairs to Vogel. That's a strike, and Vogel knew it. He let the bat go, and he regrets it.
Well, it was a 3-0 breaking ball out of the zone. That is not exactly what you should be looking for in a dead red count.
Now ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Rutherford. And you wonder if Van Bell and all of the work that he has been put through here this week, this is his 4th start in the regional, if he might not be running out of steam.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off a day's rest after throwing 40 pitches, but certainly, you know, been a heavy workload week for him.
Here's the workload in this regional. 4 games, 3-0. It's a lot of innings for a kid this age.
Well, and, you know, we see guys make 2 starts and throw 12 innings in 2 starts. I think it's less about the maybe cumulative innings pitched and more about the consistency with which he's pitched, right? And so you just wonder if that's mounting a little bit. But every time it looks like he might be on the rocks, he finds a way to make a big pitch.
Can he make one here? 1-2 to Rutherford. Fouled off. Boy, this is a critical point here for Hamilton. If they don't get something going here, might be their last best chance.
Well, it might be their last at bat, right? Because 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and that would be it.
Good point.
Nice block. That's what I'm talking about with Thorning. I mean, you do not see 12-year-olds get outside the baseball on a breaking ball that's that far in the other batter's box. Look how far he has to go to get around this ball. That's just a big-time play.
Struck him out. Ethan Van Bell lost his no-hitter, but he has in Williamsport. Again, both teams will advance. Top of the order, Lucas Farner hitting here for Michigan. 2 for 3. Couple of runs scored. And he's behind in the count, 0-2 to Caleb Harton, who has come on in relief. 3rd pitcher for Hamilton.
Yeah, he's got his hands full here. You got the top of this talented order, and you got to hold them to less than 2 runs if you want to extend this game one more frame.
Struck him out. And the throw down from Davidson to get Farner, who had been red hot in his last 2 at-bats. Ohio's been able to get him out. 1 away.
Number 3, Gavin Hewlin.
Hewlin is hitless in this game. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st and scored. A strikeout and a ground out since.
Boy, it is obvious that Caleb Harton is going to lean on that breaking ball. You saw 3 in a row there to Lucas Farner, and now he starts Hewlin off with another one. Pretty evident what he's trying to do.
Yeah. What do you think of Hewlin's mullet?
I'm in favor of these kids. I love the personality that these kids show these days. And, you know, it's the summertime. You're going through the All-Star tournament. He's got his own T-shirt. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Just let it ride.
He strikes out here. 2 up, 2 down. How about Harden? A difficult spot in the order. He's making it look pretty easy here.
Yeah, man, that back foot breaking ball, a tale as old as time, right? The left-hander that can bend a breaking ball under the hands of a right-handed hitter. It's been an effective pitch for as long as they've been playing this great game.
Here's Cam Thorning again. He's been on 3 times in 3 plate appearances. And he has scored 3 runs. A couple of singles and a walk. He has 1 home run in this tournament so far. I get the feeling he's due for another one here.
Oh, really? You're calling it?
I just get that feeling. I think he's ready to cut loose again.
All right, Clay Matvick, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, this isn't exactly a hitter's count here. The 0-2.
If this hits, I will be very impressed.
Bated breath. Here we go. Harden's 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. I proved to be a savant again. Last chance for Hamilton, Ohio. They need a lot of runs in this Great Lakes title game.
Kelsey Riggs with you in the studio, and it was a bases-clearing double from Carson Frazier that changed the momentum of the game last night for New Jersey. Now they're taking on Pennsylvania in the Mid-Atlantic Finals next here on ESPN. Clay?
All right, Kelsey. Here's Ethan Van Bell, the pitcher for Taylor, Michigan. What a job he has done. And unfortunately for him, unless he can get 3 outs on 3 pitches, he's not going to be able to finish this game. But what a game it has been.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. You know, we've talked about it. They've run him out there to start every game they've played here. He has been unbelievable, just the 2 runs on the week. And he will certainly be one of the MVPs when the Taylor North Little League regional story is written. What a star he has been for them on the mound.
Maddox Jones is going to be his last hitter. That's pitch number 85 right there. It's 2-1. Maddox Jones, Noah Davidson, Gage Maggard are the scheduled hitters. And a loss for Hamilton doesn't mean that they don't get that big trip to Williamsport. That's the consolation prize here today.
Yeah, as disappointing as the afternoon has been, the consolation prize is going to be pretty sweet.
Wow, what a play there by LaForest. Max LaForest snares it and steps on the bag. And Ethan Van Bell sees his day come to an end, and what a day it has been.
Shake my hand, give me a hug. You're a superhero, kid. Great job, all right? Great job. Go in there. You're going to go to first base. Go in there and get something to drink. Focus. All right, you are going to go to, how do I have this down? He's on the mound here. You're going to right field.
Wow, what a feeling for that kid, huh? He's got to feel 10 feet tall. He just got a standing ovation as he knows his team is going to Williamsport as champions of the Great Lake Regional. And what a day he had, and what a regional he has had, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know where his favorite dinner spot is, but he certainly earned it. The ability to command that glove side fastball, and of course he can bend the breaking ball. He can bounce it when he needs a swing and a miss. He can spin it over the plate when he needs to steal a strike. It was a pitching clinic for Ethan Van Bell, not just today, but all week long.
He's going to get another victory. That's a pretty good ERA, I would say. That 1 run up on the scoreboard for Ohio today, unearned.
Yeah, that again, just an incredible effort. And oh, by the way, a 2 RBI double. So not just with the arm, but he cashed in a couple with that as well.
So he'll be the winning pitcher in all 4 games of the regional. They'll turn it over now to Jacob Furcus, who comes in from center field.
Center field 34, Chauncey Atkins. And now playing right field, number 12, Max LaForest.
Talked about Furcus, almost 6 foot right-hander. And he is working quickly and efficiently as well. The 0-2, ooh, that runs in.
Boy,
and Levi Smith takes another one off the body. And Mom and Dad are a little concerned, as they should be.
I mean, he's wearing the sleeve on the right arm, but he might need one for the left as well. That's 2 times in a row. He's caught one off the, ooh, that one's off the elbow. The first one was on the forearm.
He's going to stay in the game as Moak is going to hit. And Moak takes a strike from Furcus. Again, Taylor, Michigan will play Florida on Friday. Hamilton will play Tennessee on Thursday, the first day of the Little League World Series activities in Williamsport. All 30 games. We'll have coverage for you on the ESPN networks. Another strike, 1-2.
Boy, Furcus just comes in. Granted, the one got away from him against Levi Smith, but he comes in and just makes it look easy. A fastball that looks like it can really jump on you as a hitter.
That's a strikeout, and now Michigan 1 out away from a celebration. Caleb Harden now, just off the plate. We heard from the coaches for Taylor that the pitching staff is about 6 deep. That seemed high, but the way Furcus is throwing, you think, well, maybe there's something to it. I mean, you just saw how good Ethan Bell is, and now Furcus coming in throwing gas.
Well, yeah, and we've seen Jackson Surma's thrown 3 2/3 scoreless here. Of course, Furcus came in with 2 2/3 scoreless here in Indy. So we've seen some other guys toe the rubber and been effective. But obviously, Van Bell has carried the heaviest of the workload.
Thorning frames up strike 2. That one's way outside, 2-2. What a week it's been here in Whitestown. Everybody has done such a great job. We've had a lot of fun. Just off the plate, full count.
One pitch away. Don't want to be too fine with this one. Just trust that fastball.
Furcus rocks, fires, strike 3, ball game. Taylor North Little League out of Michigan, the champions in the Great Lakes. Ohio loses here in the title game, but both of these teams will represent the region in Williamsport next week.
Yeah, congratulations to both of these teams. Of course, Hamilton West Side, no stranger to Williamsport. But the boys from Taylor North Little League from Taylor, Michigan, their first ever trip, and they will show up as regional champs. Congratulations, fellas.
Coming up next, Pennsylvania and New Jersey in the Mid-Atlantic. 9-1 the final for Chris Burke. I'm Clay Matvick. We hope you enjoyed it. Congratulations to Team Michigan. So long, everybody.